Last week, the session wrapped up. A very historic and productive session for soybean farmers across the state.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the State of Soy. I'm Aaron Putsey. We're coming to you from the Iowa Capitol. I'm visiting with Michael Dolch. Michael serves as Senior Director of Policy for the Iowa Soybean Association. Last week, the legislature adjourned. What happened during this year's session that really bodes well for Iowa soybean farmers?
Last week, the session wrapped up over a little bit of overtime. They went past their 100-day mark for the 89th General Assembly. However, a very historic and productive session for soybean farmers across the state. So at the beginning of the year at our annual Winter Soy Summit, they set policy supporting a biofuels access bill. The governor went ahead and made mention of that legislation during her condition of the state, introduced a governor-backed bill, and that bill actually found its way across the finish line later stages of session. Really bodes well for the soybean farmer. It's not only going to drive demand for soybean oil, which is the primary feedstock for biodiesel production here across the state, but also offers a climate-friendly, environmental-friendly solution to meeting different climate goals here in Iowa and across the U.S.
There was also some other action by the legislature that obviously our soybean farmers were paying attention to, and that bodes well for the future of the industry too.
Absolutely, paying attention to and supporting as well. So this year there was some legislation that created an all systems weight permit. For $500, a farmer can apply for this permit and basically transport loads of commodities from the field to market, inputs to their field or farm, up to 90,000 pounds. So this sounds somewhat familiar because the governor every year issues a harvest proclamation which does the very same thing. But this legislation that was passed this year is going to allow for a year-round transport of 12.5% over what is normally allowed on non-interstate highways.
And again, on the environmental issues, water quality, there was funding for water quality initiatives and also some action related to funding nitrogen application insights and rates. Talk a little bit about that.
Within the Iowa Department of Ag and Land Stewardship's budget request, they request an X amount of dollars to support water quality funding, grants, cost share opportunities for farmers to implement and scale up practices across the state. Again, legislators this year recognized the importance of the Iowa Nutrient Reduction Strategy, fully funding these water quality programs, giving farmers that opportunity to again adopt, implement, and scale up practices for water quality benefit across the state.
Who do you want to call out, Michael, for their work on behalf of soybean farmers during this session?
Sure. Now, we certainly need to appreciate the governor's leadership on these issues, the biofuel access bill, the all systems weight permit. She also issued a planting proclamation along with her harvest proclamation this past year, but again gets wrapped up in that all systems weight permit. There were a couple other legislators that come to mind. Representative Lee Hines, Senator Dan Zumbaugh were floor managers on some key legislation for Iowa Soybean Association this year. Now is honestly when the real work starts. So yes, we've passed the legislation. Now rules need to be written to implement the legislation that was passed. So over the next several weeks, we'll be liaisoning with departments, agencies here in the state. And beyond that, again, Iowa Soybean Association's policy development process is a year-round process. Therefore, we're always soliciting and taking feedback from farmers on the issues and challenges that they're facing at the farm gate, and again, trying to find solutions to the challenges that they are facing. So encourage advocate members to be engaged at our district summer meeting series and other events throughout the year.
Michael, congratulations. I know it, as you said, went into overtime. But that's what we mean when we say we're driven to deliver at the Iowa Soybean Association on policy as well. Reporting from the Iowa State House for the State of Soy, I'm Aaron Putsey.
Progress is a human invention. We look at our world and we imagine how to make it better. That's the power of human ingenuity. We can redefine what's possible. At Bayer, we're shaping the future of agriculture, like farms where all life grows together. It's not impossible, it's progress.